Based on the Lovevery Facebook group I'm in, I'd like to apologize to all the husbands out there because in this video, I'll be reviewing Lovevery's first 4-year-old play kit, the connector. Yeah, so you thought you were done after your child turns 4, but nope, there are more play kits. The connector is for ages 49, 50, and 51 months, and it focuses on flexible thinking like the ability to adapt and adjust to change. A perfect example of this is the wooden modular village and pathways, along with the friends and swing set. It shows that using the same materials, you can create very different results each time. The flat green pieces are very easy for your child to put together. My son had no problems connecting them to make a path. Your child can use the same pieces and make a different scene each time. The friends and swing set is a bit harder and my son did ask me for help in putting it together. You can attach the swing set to one of the green pieces. The idea behind these items is for your child to learn about storytelling. They can use these items to invent and narrate their own stories. Storytelling helps your child learn literacy elements such as character, plot, and pacing. Lovevery even includes a way to play guide that allows you to introduce the characters Alia and Jaeyoung to your child. Each of the characters has a full bio, and these backstories help your child engage with the figurines as full people and not just as disabled or not disabled. I have to give it to Lovevery, as these two characters are well thought out, from Alia's mobility device to Jaeyoung's food allergies. This gives us parents a way to discuss disabilities and allergies in a way our child will understand while also still being respectful. The next item, the microscope, is probably going to be pretty popular, as you may have noticed that 4-year-olds are pretty interested in small details. There are a couple ways your child can interact with this microscope. The traditional way is viewing one of the 2 slides to introduce the concept of seeing something 20 times magnified. The slide wheels offer many different types of images your child can see. The microscope comes with its own dedicated guide that contains information about how to use the microscope, as well as detailed information about the things your child might see in the slides. They also include a specimen clip that allows you to collect various samples and allows you to use it with the microscope. Another way your child can use the microscope is to remove it from the base, allowing them to get a closer look at whatever interests them. The only negative I can think about this microscope, which isn't necessarily aimed at the Lovevery version, but it's just the nature of microscopes in general. It's this fine focus feature here that allows your child to focus things better, and this is something that's definitely going to take them a little while to learn. I do want to point out that when you're using the microscope like this, your child also has to make sure that they're pretty close to the object. In most cases, it's almost touching. The Inventor Adventure Pack at first glance might make you think it's just a belt pack for your child, but the pack itself has some learning aspects. The pack allows your child to practice zipping, lacing, buttoning, and threading. Getting better at these skills are useful for practical life, such as getting dressed. Beyond the practical life aspect, the Adventure Pack is also about making decisions. Does your child want the blue or the rainbow side to be displayed? Which leads to the coin pocket inside, outside, or even hanging on the side. And then they have to decide what to put in it so they can bring something to play with on car rides or wherever they're going. And by far my son's favorite item inside this play kit is the book, Charlie Learned Something New. It's a book about how Charlie has a hard time solving the color theory puzzle from the Analyst play kit. The basic story behind the book is about how sometimes it's hard to solve or learn something. It can take multiple tries, patience, and even breaks for your brain. Personally, I love the story, as with children this age, they tend to get frustrated when they can't accomplish something. This book is an excellent way to discuss the various feelings, from frustrations of not being able to complete the puzzle to the excitement of finally solving the puzzle. I suspect that my son really likes this book because he has the same puzzle and he also understands the difficulty of the puzzle. The last item in this play kit for your child is the daily Hoverboard. In short, it's really a chores list. But the word chores tends to have a negative connotation. The daily Hoverboard allows you to slowly introduce more independence by allowing your child to contribute to family routines. There are 2 ways to use the daily Hoverboard. The first way is a typical to-do list on one side and then the finished items on the other side. The other way allows you to easily track what your child can do by themselves and what they need help with. And more often than not, you'll notice that 4-year-olds are very highly task motivated and excited to help out. Normally, Lovevery Play Kit includes a single play guide for the parents to learn about how to use and introduce the items. But this time around, not only do they have the typical play guide, but they also have 3 additional guides. I've already mentioned the Microscope guide and the ways to play guide. The third guide is the guide to developmental milestones of year 4. This isn't something new, as normally it's just another section inside the play guide, but for this kit it's an extra book. I assume it's because 3-month intervals isn't really that long when it comes to 4-year-old milestones. So in a way, if you like reading up on this stuff, then the first box is kind of a must, as the information isn't included in the other play kits. As for the rest of the play guide, it pretty much contains all the information you would expect, like how to use the items, how to introduce, as well as the more activity section. I really had no idea what to expect when I found out that Lovevery would be releasing year 4 play kits. But I can tell you that after touching and seeing firsthand all the items, they look to be a pretty big hit. At $120 per kit, these aren't cheap by any means, so I know some parents want to find out if you can recreate the experience for less, since there's no official way to purchase the individual items as they're not sold individually. I went ahead and did the legwork for parents who are curious about this and did my best to find Amazon alternatives to see if I could recreate the experience. I couldn't find anything that had as many features as the Adventure Pack. I settled with this fanny pack as an alternative, as it does at least have 2 pockets versus many of the other ones I saw only had 1 large pocket. This responsibility chart, give or take, covers the same concept as the daily Hoverboard. I couldn't find a single microscope that splits like the Lovevery one does, so I ended up finding 2 products to cover the same experience. This works as a portable microscope, and this looks like a decent kid's microscope. Modular playhouses are really tough to find, and I couldn't find anything that had a path to build. This playhouse covers the storytelling aspects, but it doesn't have the nice character bios of Lovevery, but at least it still has a swing. This book seems to have decent reviews about teaching children to deal with being frustrated. If you add up the price of all the items I just mentioned, it would cost $126.94 to recreate the connector play kit experience. This makes it slightly more expensive, meaning it's a better deal to purchase the play kit from Lovevery. Overall, I really do like the items that are included in these new year 4 play kits. It's always interesting to see what my son ends up liking the most. For example, I always knew he liked the Lovevery playbooks, but I wouldn't have guessed that he would have liked it this much. If you're curious to see my first impression and unboxing of all 4 year 4 play kits, check out this video here. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on a review of the other 3 play kits coming out later this year. And I'll see you in the next one.